Howdy y'all, and welcome to Craters Gaming. Today we're going to be making some sails for our ship using some wooden pieces that I found at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I do believe Walmart carries some of these, so just check your local craft shop and we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Just a quick shout out to Dungeons by Hand. I absolutely love the jig that they sent me. But to get into the meat of the project, I am using a bunch of spare pieces of wood that I found at a crafting supply store. These are little wooden spools, and I'm using dowel rods that fit perfectly on the inside. These are going to be the bases for my sails, and I think they'll turn out awesome. And I am going on the super cheap of the cheap. I am using paper towels for my sails. You can stain these if you would like before you put them together. I did not on these. On future ones I may. I have not decided yet. I may end up dyeing on black and having the black pearl. I don't know yet. This is definitely not the only ship I'll have in my fleet, that's for sure. Now I am going to use smaller dowel rods. I think these are skewers that I got out of my kitchen. We go cheap, but it works. But I cut them down to size. They are 3 inches wide, which is more than enough than what we need. And I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it on there. Notice I did not say tacky glue because I have no patience. I am going to go ahead and tie up the sails with some string that I had on the table. Hindsight, I wish I had grabbed my brown string instead, but it's alright. It definitely works and it gets the job done, so that's all we're really looking for. Now I am going to have the string go around this piece a couple of times to make sure it's totally secure and it's not going to go anywhere. If I can just remember to keep the item in the view of the camera, I'll be doing great. This larger piece, I am going to go ahead and tie the sail up in 4 different spots. The smaller ones, I'm only going to do it twice and then just hot glue it onto the dowel rod. Telling you rather than showing you, that way it's not like watching paint dry and y'all don't get bored. I figure watching me do it once is more than enough, so there you go. With my 3 pieces already tied up, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue them onto my dowel rods. Now hindsight, which we all know what that gets you. I should have painted the dowel rods before I glued on the sails. It would have made painting this so much easier. As always, we're going to pause the video at this point to remind you that you can become a Patreon or buy us a coffee. All proceeds do go towards buying more supplies and helping out the channel. Alright, back at it. So to weigh these down, because they are awfully top heavy, I am using some washers to hold it down, which works great. And I'm using the hot glue because it works so much faster. Some of y'all may recognize these from the stackable terrain video that I did. These are the Jenga pieces that I bought from Dollar Tree. These are going to be stairs going up to one of the deckings. And again, I'm using hot glue because I have no patience. But yeah, super easy, no muss, no fuss. For this part, I'm going to work on the steering column. Now I went back and forth on this. I tried putting that little wheel that you see off to the side over there to use that as the steering wheel, and it did not work out the way I wanted it to. It just didn't look right. But I did find gear and some of my steampunk stuff that I have that will work great for a steering wheel. And the struggle bus did pull up to the station, y'all. It's for real. I did get the post glued down and I have it exactly the height that I wanted it, so it all works out fine. As per mentioned gearbox, so I was just trying to find the right piece, and I think this one works out perfectly. I'm going to put a little dab of hot glue on the back of that gear, and we're just going to glue it onto it, so no muss, no fuss. Next, we're going to be working on weathering the stairs, which I'm just going to carve off a little pieces here or there to make it a little less uniform and a little less square. The first layer of paint, we're going to be using a melted chocolate acrylic paint, and by the condition of the bottle, you can tell it's one of my favorites. And we're going to get a full coverage on all the pieces. I'm probably going to fast forward through a lot of this, that way you don't have to sit there and watch the paint dry. Moving on to the dry brushing, we're going to be using a territorial beige acrylic paint, and I will show you how I do that. I really love doing this because it brings out a lot of details that I don't have to sit there with an even smaller brush trying to get done. which is really the same reason why I like doing the washes towards the end, because it brings out even more details. And yes, I did get paint all over my hands, because if you don't get messy, are you even doing it right? But no, for real, it's like the dirtier I get, the happier I tend to be, so it's all cool. It washes, it doesn't hurt anything or anybody, and I really like how it looks on the piece, even though I do get coated with it as well. And I am going to do a quick little dry brushing on the stairs with some Timeless Gray, because I really want this part to look weathered. For this particular piece, I am using a Christmas green where I can make it look kind of mossy and gross and just like it's been out in the weather for a while. A little less new and a little bit more seasoned, I guess. I guess the best way you can put it. Words are hard and sometimes I have problems. I'm sorry. But no, it makes it look a little bit more seasoned and like it's actually seen some action, and that it's not a brand new ship, and maybe it hasn't been the best taken care of. I will say that future ships will be painted differently. That way we have a little bit more of a selection to go from, and they don't all look alike, and you don't have to sit there and go, which one's our ship? Which one's the enemy ship? It'll be easier to figure it out. There you have it. Super easy, super quick sails and other scatter terrain for your top deck. Next week or week after, I may end up doing the captain's quarters. I have not decided yet, so we'll see what happens. But if you like the video, please hit the like, subscribe, share the video. It helps out a whole lot, and I hope to see y'all again next week. Bye.